By week 6, we're up and live in market, and we have a plan of exactly where we want to focus for the first 90 days. And now we're live and recruiting, and then we handle everything end to end for the client. So everything from recruiting the partners to onboarding partners to activating campaigns with those partners to monitoring the performance to all of the orchestration of the day-to-day or keyboard in the platform, handling any sort of operational things to keep the program running, any sort of brand safety monitoring, and all affiliate support, reviewing applications, monitoring performance, that sort of thing.
Hey, folks, what's going on? Dustin Howes here, spreading that good word about affiliate marketing. You're going to find me here on Affiliate Nerd Out every Thursday at 12 p.m. Pacific times. Put it on the calendar. Hang out with me and a guest. And my guest today, Adam Glazer, Partner Commerce President. What are you these days, Adam?
Chief Affiliate Nerd.
Chief Affiliate Nerd. Oh, awesome. Welcome to the Nerdatorium, buddy.
I'm ready to nerd out, man. Let's do it.
Great. Our relationship goes back, I feel like 10
Decades.
years.
Yeah.
10 years.
Easy.
You almost hired me at some point.
At Conversio, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, at Partner Commerce too, I think. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
The days are short, but the days are long, but the years are short. It doesn't seem like it was that long ago, but when we actually think about how long, it was like, wow, that was over a decade. That was been like over a decade.
Yeah, it has been over a decade. It's wild. And then I see you at conferences throughout the years. We hang out a little bit, but now our worlds are colliding a lot more. I'm getting leads to B2B, and you're my go-to agency that I send those leads to. We're building our relationship out there. Tell us a little bit about you and what you do.
Yeah. Hey, everybody who's listening. Thanks for tuning in. Adam Glazer, officially president of Partner Commerce and founder of Partner Commerce. We're an agency that specializes in B2B affiliate marketing. We only work with B2B advertisers, and we help them build, manage, and scale their affiliate programs.
Fantastic. Any big clients that are shout outs that you want to give in your clients here?
We work with TikTok for Business, Uber for Business, HubSpot, Klaviyo, Notion, ClickUp, and over a long kind of tail of others, maybe that SaaS brands that maybe you might not have heard of. And over the years, we've worked with many others, Google, Microsoft, built their affiliate programs, web.com, PayPal. So we have a very deep experience in B2B.
Yeah. And B2B is one of those underserviced industries in the affiliate space. And you guys specialize in it. I know there's other agencies out there that have some overlap with e-com and maybe SaaS, but you guys are specializing in this, and which is why I wanted to bring you on for this topic of going through a B2B game plan and execution of how you guys do it and build these programs.
Yeah, we felt that to be really good at what we do, it's very different than B2C affiliate marketing. And to be really good at it, you need to focus on it. And so that served us well. And because we've been doing it so long and we've been working with very large brands globally, we've been able to develop this network of B2B affiliate partners that we can activate quickly for our clients. And that it's become a bit of a superpower for us because it's not something that you can just whip together quickly overnight, right? It takes years of aggregating those relationships. And so it's a competitive advantage for us.
Absolutely. Every agency out there, their power is in their Rolodex. It's the guys that they know that they can come back to when they bring on new clients to help hit the ground running. The B2B space, you guys are taking care of it. And I want to go through soup to nuts of what it looks like setting up an affiliate program in the B2B space. Like you sign a client and you say, hey, all right, here are the first things that we're going to do. What does that game plan look for onboarding?
So the very first thing that we do is very deep discovery. So we really want to understand the brand, and beginning with an understanding of the customer. Who's their customer? What does their buying journey look like? What are the unit economics of the business? If there's historical information, if they've dabbled in affiliate marketing or partner marketing before, understanding what learnings are there, looking at other marketing channels that they're doing, getting a handle on what the KPIs are that are important to them and what's driving their business and what their benchmarks are. And also like understanding usually like what's their appetite for testing with different payment models? Are they comfortable with some pay for play? Because that's going to be important. And trying to just putting together what we call the outcome, the first deliverable. So after that very deep discovery is a go-to-market plan.
Okay.
And so we know who your customer is. We understand their journey. We understand your unit economics. Now out of that, we can design a commission structure. we can also identify which partner personas we want to go after, and we can prioritize those, and we can start to think deeply around, okay, you want to go after influencers and agencies. What's it going to take to support those types of partners? Are they going to require discounting? Are they going to require a co-branding element? And if they are going to require those things, what are the mechanisms and processes to turn those things around? And what are the SLAs, and what are the requirements on the client's end and on our end? And so that way, before we actually start deploying, we fully understand like operation, how this is going to work and how this is going to scale, and we're setting it up for success. We don't want to end up like spinning on cycles. If we from the very beginning say, okay, we know that your default commission structure is going to be a rev share on year one, but there are going to be some partners who are going to require CPL. And are you willing to test with those types of partners? And when are you willing to test with those partners? And how much budget can we allocate to that? And getting all that aligned so that we don't end up like later bringing you ad hoc opportunities and spinning and things bottleneck. Like, we're all aligned. Okay, we're going to do 3 of these types of deals in this quarter. And we're going to commit this much money to testing with flat fee, pay for replacement type partners. And we will consider those partners when you run it through this calculator, and we have 80% confidence that it will back into our allowables. And so that way there's just tight alignment, and we find that things move. It sets us up for success. They're able to communicate to their leadership about these things and get alignment with finance, and with if there's a web team that needs to support certain things, or dev resources. And so we have this plan, we have a strategic roadmap. Maybe in the beginning, we think that, hey, we want to have a form where there are certain types of affiliates that are not only going to refer traffic, but may refer leads. And what do we need to, and they might say, okay, we're not going to be able to roll that out at launch, but let's plan for that in Q2 or Q3. So we've got not just our go-to-market plan, but the strategic roadmap of the other things we want to roll out over. So all of that is done in that initial planning and that go-to-market plan. And so that's stage one. And it takes 2 weeks, 3 weeks to get through that. Then coming out of that, though, we have a technical spec. Now we're working with your platform and your engineers, and we have all the business requirements in our plan. Now we can define the technical requirements of how we're going to accomplish all those things. So now we move into implementation mode, and that's another 2 to 3 weeks. So by week 6, we're up and live in market, and we have a plan of exactly where we want to focus for the first 90 days. Now we're live and recruiting, and then we handle everything end to end for the client. So everything from recruiting the partners, to onboarding partners, to activating campaigns with those partners, to monitoring the performance, to all of the orchestration of the day-to-day or hands-on keyboard in the platform, handling any sort of operational things to keep the program running, any sort of brand safety monitoring, and all affiliate support, reviewing applications, monitoring performance. That's it.
Gotcha. Great explanation of that soup to nuts. I want to go back into the early stages there of, after you like figure out what their partner personas are that they're looking for, where is the decision on what platform to put them on? And do you guys have favorites that you guys are looking at for most?
Yeah, that can depend. That can come at a lot of different stages. Sometimes the client's already selected that platform before they find us, and then it is what it is. Or we're taking over an existing program that's already on a platform, and now we're just restructuring the program. Occasionally, a client will come in and they don't know what platform they need. And so we'll audit, we're agnostic to platform. There are platforms that we work a lot with and that we're certified on and we're experts on. And there's economies of scale if we're using those platforms like Impact and PartnerStack and Everflow. And most of our programs are on those 3. And so we've got processes and work streams built around those platforms. If we're running something on a newer platform, that it might be a little more scope for us to adapt some processes to work with that platform. And we know that our solution, like what we offer and our approach, is enabled by things that we know what PartnerStack can do and we know what Impact can do. There might be some unknowns if we're working with a different platform where we don't know if they have some of the capabilities to do what these other best-in-class platforms can do. So we do try to encourage our clients to work with a best-in-class platform. We consider those 3 to be best-in-class. Not to say that there are others that aren't very good, but for B2B, we found those 3 to be particularly well suited. And yeah, so I think if they don't If the client does not already have a point of view or a preference on platform, we can help them evaluate and make decisions. And each of them, I think, have different bells and whistles and are good at some things. Some are better
Yeah.
at some things and some are better at other things. So we try to help the client make that decision.
All right. And yeah, I love those platforms, all three of them. Love the people that
Yeah.
work there. Obviously, Impact. I love one especially. She works in the other room.
Like your bias, right?
Yeah, I can be traditionally, yes. But once you make that decision on the platform and you've got these partner personas in mind, are there any particular personas that you really go after early on for B2B?
Good questions. Yes. I think let's even pan back, right? And say, so for B2B, it's not your traditional affiliate profile, right? It's not
Okay.
coupon and discount and incentive and cashback and toolbar. And we really want to steer clear. In fact, we don't, it's funny, as everyone was talking about honey and then the whole debacle there,
Yeah.
they're not in a single program we work on. Never have been for 10 years. And we've never worked with honey. It's just, we don't want to work with anything that is going to not drive high value incremental customers that are net new.
Great.
Now, where to focus. So B2B affiliates, what we call our approach, we encapsulate it under the term modern partner marketing.
Okay.
What that means is, one, just the philosophy of focusing on incrementality and quality, but also like the types of the segments of partners include things like influencers, agencies. Certainly there are there are content sites, and within content publishers, right? Within content sites, there are endemic B2B sites. So you got Forbes and Fit Small Business and sites like that, which are like portals, like news advice portals for small businesses. And then you have more blogs and other sort of content sites and trade publications that are targeted to either industry verticals or maybe more solution case oriented. So there might be a whole site about expense management, right? And so that would be good for some of our fintech clients, right? Or maybe there's a site that's targeted to medical practices or restaurants. And so if we have a client who wants to reach retail brick and mortar restaurants, like we know we can go to these types of content sites. So content sites, so we talked about influencers and agencies and content sites, but there's also member groups. So these would be banks, working communities, associations, chambers of commerce, so gated networks that you either have to become a paying customer or a member to become part of this community. And they often, by being a member of that community, they get access to perks and deals. And so we can help you break into those. Then, of course, you have like creators, right? So that could be a little bit different from influencer. Influencer, I think of social media, right? And someone has a large fan base or follower base we focus on YouTube and LinkedIn primarily, which is more of a business audience. But I think of creator as someone who maybe is like creating courses on Coursera or Udemy or Udacity or LinkedIn Learning. So it might be again, going back to our go-to-market planning and our ICP and IPP partner mapping, right? We might say, look, we're really trying to reach restaurant owners or florists or HVAC business owners, right? And when we focus on creators, we might go to Udemy and look for people who are teaching courses about how to scale your HVAC business. And in that course, they're talking about you need to graduate from using spreadsheets to using a proper CRM. And you could use these tools, and here's some templates that I've created. So that could also be like template creators, right? Maybe they're building templates in Notion or ClickUp, and they're building funnels, and like you buy their course and you get their ClickUp funnel template, but they're recommending ClickUp to you. So now coming through, and let's say this course creator might only reach 900 people a year, but those 900 people are paying $200, $300, $400, $500 to attend that course. And they have a lot of trust in these creators, and they're all buying. And because they're onboarding with some level of assist through this creator who's providing their templates and giving them a playbook of how to use it, they're more successful. So they don't turn and they end up scaling and being successful on the tool. So that's been a great tactic for us, but it doesn't end there. There's so many other segments to go after for B2B that we would dedicate the whole conversation just to that.
Absolutely.
But the point I'm trying to make is that it's different. It's different than traditional affiliate. It's not like in a traditional B2C affiliate program, you can have 30, 40 affiliates in your program and have a really robust program. And it's low hanging fruit. You get Rakuten and Whale Shark and Honey and you don't have to hire very senior resources. You could be more of a junior kind of person managing that. And it's not that B2B, it's a much longer tail of working with these different types of partners, and it's a little more partner development and less affiliate marketing. But yeah, that's what it takes, I think, to be successful in B2B.
Excellent. A lot of range there that was unexpected and unseen. There's a tendency in B2C to get caught up in the coupons, loyalty, and that game because it's easy. It's really easy to get those wins. The conversion rate's really high. People are standing in front of cash registers, handing out coupons. And then the B2B space, like that just doesn't work. There's not people searching on coupon sites for what business that they want to go to. So I have seen like SaaS products that have coupons. There's like niche sites there, but you brought up like the banking system. CLO is super hot right now, and that's a good fit as perk sites going on the
CLO. I love CLO. The challenge with what was around in CLO is that most of our clients want to incentivize net new customers, and they don't want to pay they don't want to reward or discount an existing customer. And so some of the card linked offers, they don't have the ability. If you just use this card to buy this product, you will get this rebate, whether you're a new customer or an existing customer. And so that's been a blocker for us. Another blocker has been, we work with very large brands, and there is at least a perception of needing to share customer data to be able to enable the rebate. Now, you and I know that it can be done anonymously, anonymous IDs and things like that. But in order to say, okay, customer XYZ123 became a paying customer, so apply the rebate on their card, there has to be some exchange of information. And so for like brands like Google and TikTok, it's a little harder to do than a smaller like SaaS brand that is able to just do that without having to go through lawyers and InfoSec compliance. They still will have to go through it, but they're a bit more nimble. And so card linked offers but when it works and when you can get it, the scale is phenomenal.
For sure. They're very capable of some massive volume there. I'm going to take a second to thank our sponsor of the day, and that is Moonpool. These old friends of mine in the industry. Moonpool, if you don't know what it does, just imagine a tool that helps audit your links, identify tracking issues that may be costing you money or maybe costing your publishers money. They're going to go and find these. They're going to find every missing attribution point for affiliate programs that is going to help you look good. So if you're an agency out there, you should be checking this out. If you're a publisher, you should be talking to your brands about using Moonpool. If you're missing transactions in the sequence, they're helping find that gap with first party and third party cookies and really helping out the publishers out there. Give them a look. Go to dustinhouse.com/Moonpool and check out more. I created that image yesterday because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know.
Was that you in the picture? It kind of looked like you.
It was AI. And I spent like a half an hour trying to lasso a moon with AI and it would not do it. So I ended up saying, pull something out of a box, and I'm just going to put their logo. AI is tough sometimes, and it could be a little difficult. And then I get stuck in this creator like version of just trying to prompt it to do whatever I want. It just doesn't work.
So far for the images, I've mainly used it for joking with friends or coming up with some ridiculous shit.
It's always a good time. I love it. Are you using AI for your business? Speaking of AI, any tools that you guys are utilizing?
So we built some custom things that use AI to query and get information about a client's program or do some things to assist with recruiting and other things. Yeah. So it's helped definitely streamline and make us more efficient.
Okay, great. Any other tools that you guys are using as an agency or would consider as a consultant that are helpful in this B2B space?
We use software that we really rely on. It's not like affiliate specific software. We use HubSpot as our CRM, and that's the brain of our organization, right? And making sure that all of the partners and all of the correspondence with the partners gets tracked. And so we can see like a waterfall of like how deals are moving through the pipeline. We can see which partners
Yeah.
are working, which ones are not. We can also, when we want to create campaigns for new clients, we can go in and pull by, okay, we want influencers in Brazil in the HVAC vertical. We've got a list all ready to go. And then before we outreach to those, because we have a team, we have 30 people who are talking to partners, they can go in and be like, okay, I see that this Tiago is talking to Felipe, and here's the in the course. So before I outreach to Felipe, let me ping Tiago and see. And so that can happen. It enables that to happen. And so as an agency, it enables us to be much more efficient. So that's been a really important tool. And then we use Notion, which is also a client of ours. So
Good.
HubSpot is a client and Notion's a client, but we picked their software
Okay.
before we had them as clients. So it was
All right.
Notion's great, and it helps us with like project management, also like documenting processes. So some of the AI hacks and things that we have a repository in Notion wherever you can go in, and all of that information is cataloged there in Notion, and tasks get put into Notion, and it becomes a client facing portal. So it's just a way to keep all the information organized. So Notion's been a great tool. And then we do a lot of outbound email. We're using tools to kind of help warm up and manage those campaigns as well. Yeah.
Okay. Great. Great. We use at Inflection, we use HubSpot and Notion as
Oh, cool.
well. And Nancy is such good people too. She has such a great voice in this industry. I can't wait to have her on and talk to her through some things. Awesome. Last thing I wanted to talk about is influencers. You brought up influencers and working with influencers in the space, and they seem pretty few and far between, if you will, in comparison to like health and wellness products. Like their footprint on the internet is just not even close. What are some of those guys that are some of the influencers that you're really looking for? And do they live on LinkedIn mostly?
Yeah. So primarily, I would say YouTube. And
Okay.
yes, and there are macro influencers, and then there's what we call
Okay.
micro influencers. And for, let's just say someone like HubSpot, for instance, right? They're going to have the influencers that have like several million followers, and that's probably going to be managed by like at the brand level, right? And it's more of an awareness play with the brand, and they're associated with that influencer. What we're looking for are more like influencers that are more micro influencers. So they might have 50,000 followers, but in a very specific niche.
Sure.
And there are thousands of those. And so it's a
Okay.
scale motion, not and with acquisition focus. But influencers, yeah, look, everyone, I think Forrester said something like 76%, so almost like 2/3 of every dollar spent by a small business goes through an intermediary. And so it's touched by an agency or an influencer or someone who's influencing that business's decision. And the tricky thing with influencers, it's hard to attribute, right? Because they're not always driving a click. They're usually introducing
Yes.
a brand to a customer and putting them into a journey. And because they're higher funnel, and when you have a YouTube video, an influencer posts a YouTube video, you watch the video and then you're like, oh, now know about Notion or HubSpot. I'm going to go check it out. You might then go to Google, or because you watch that, you might get retargeted by the brand and click on the retargeting ad.
Sure.
And so from an attribution perspective, those channels are winning those moments, but they're introduced and brought into that funnel through the influencer, and they're not always opening the abstract and clicking the link, or they're not ready to buy at that moment. And it's the attribution has been a tricky thing. And that really just comes down to educating our clients and having them think about how to properly evaluate those types of campaigns.
Gotcha. Awesome. Adam, this has been great. Appreciate your
pleasure.
time today. And thanks for dropping all this knowledge on B2B. And it's been great talking to you. How do people get a hold of you?
Partnercommerce.com. You can Google that, or just go to partnercommerce.com, or you can Google my name, Adam Glazer, B2B affiliate marketing, any of those things. You'll find your way to me, or you can go to Dustin's site and you'll find us listed there as well.
That's right. You are one of my preferred agencies on my suggested agencies list.
Thank you for that.
Appreciate you, man. For those folks out there, keep on recruiting, and we'll see you next time.